Hey guys, welcome back to Papers, Please, a channel where we examine passports. Today we have a Belgian passport issued in 1971. Despite its seemingly excellent condition, this passport was indeed issued half a century ago, which is incredible because it certainly doesn't look 50 years old. This is thanks to the quality manufacturing and durable cover material. This material has aged gracefully. It's lightweight, it's flexible, it feels premium in the hands. The passport is one of those olden days passports, which means it's larger than its modern counterparts. The size is 15 by 10 centimeters, which is larger than the B7 size passports we're used to nowadays. Speaking of measuring dicks, the Belgian flag is certainly in a strange shape, wouldn't you say? The aspect ratio is 13 by 15, and Belgium is the only country in the world that uses this aspect ratio. Not as strange as Nepal, but definitely unique. The cover is green as opposed to the red Belgian passports nowadays. The color was changed when Belgium joined the European Union, which passed a law mandating all European countries to issue their passports in the same red color. There are some exceptions to this rule though, which is the topic of another video. And this passport is obviously way older than the European Union, hence the green color. On the top, you have the name of the country written in 4 languages: French, Dutch, German, and English. Most people know that Belgium is a trilingual country. The south speaks French, the north speaks Dutch, and a tiny German-speaking population that we all pretend doesn't exist. On the passport though, all 3 languages show up, as well as English, the world language, of course. By the way, very few people know that the order of appearance of the official languages on the Belgian passport depends on the official residence of the bearer. So if you live in the Dutch-speaking part of the country, the first language on your passport will be Dutch. In this case, our original owner was from the French community, so it has French first. In the center, there is the coat of arms. Let me break it down for you. It has this little waffle down here representing the Belgian cuisine, 2 French fries, another brilliant Belgian invention, Snowy, the dog from the Adventure of Tintin, the most famous Belgian literature, of course, and last but not least, the motto, which roughly translates to "We have nothing to do with what happened in Congo." Overall, the cover looks great. The embroidering has held up exceptionally well. After 50 years, neither the text nor the image is scratched. Amazing. Now, let's look at the inside. On the inside front cover, we have the notice section written in French and Dutch. I have no idea what they say. Oh wait, on the inside back cover, you can find the exact same information in the other 2 languages. This is great because that means I don't have to make up the translation as I go, like I did with the national motto just now, but I think that was a fair translation, right? In the notice section, it says that the young men who have reached the military age are not allowed to undertake a journey the duration which would prevent them from complying with their liability to military service. I guess that means no gap year for young Belgians to go to the Congo, eh? The next 3 paragraphs are also about military duty. This is because Belgium at the time had conscription. Most men of legal age were subject to compulsory military service. It had been a tradition since the 19th century. Historically, Belgium had been a so-called neutral country, which is another way of saying I am a wishy-washy milquetoast fence-sitter. There are 2 ways a country can be a wishy-washy milquetoast fence-sitter. The first one is the Liechtenstein approach, named after the very hard-to-pronounce European nation of Liechtenstein, which means that you just dissolve your own army because your land is too tiny and inconsequential to conquer. The second one is the Switzerland approach, named after the famous brand of army knives, which means you keep a relatively powerful military so that it would take too much effort to conquer you, so no one would do it. Belgium took the Swiss Army knife approach and wanted a big military, therefore the conscription. History, however, has proven that this strategy was not useful at all, because during both World War I and II, Belgians raised their 13 by 15 white flag quicker than the French did. After World War II, Belgium joined NATO, and the government realized that it doesn't need a big military because it can just get America to act as its bodyguard and pay essentially nothing. Conscription was therefore abolished in 1992. Speaking of government, Belgium doesn't have one, well, for a large part of the 2010s. You see, after the election of June 13, 2010, it took the Belgian parliament 589 days to form the government. It took the country another 494 days after the election of May 26, 2019 to do the same. The reasons are too complicated to get into in this video, but if you got 4 languages on your passport, then chances are you have difficulties communicating with your fellow countrymen. This brings us back to the passport. In 1971, when this passport was issued, conscription was still the thing, and young military-aged men traveling abroad was a sensitive issue to warrant a warning on the passport. Page 1 contains a bunch of information, including the page count, the name of the bearer, and so on. At the bottom, there's a note saying that it's compulsory to write down your marriage status and include the name of your spouse. This seems super weird today, but it's actually a common requirement in many old passports. In a second, we're gonna flip over to the bio page, but before that, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more passports from other countries as well. Page 2 and 3 are about personal information, aka the bio pages. There was supposed to be a photo on the right, but it has fallen off. Good for me, because I can show it to you without worrying about privacy issues. On the left, you see a range of personal descriptions: height, weight, face, favorite chocolate, waffle, fries, and so on. I find it funny that you have to describe a person's face when there was supposed to be a photo right there. What's the point? Show don't tell, Belgium. Show don't tell. On page 3, it says, the Belgian government will not accept responsibility in connection with the repatriation of Belgian nationals traveling abroad. This means that if the passport holder gets into trouble overseas and needs to go back to Belgium, the government will not pay for their travel expenses. Probably because you don't even have a government all the time. On page 4, you can find a passport fee stamp of 50 franc. According to Wikipedia, that was worth about $1 in 1971. Nowadays, a 32-page Belgian passport will set you back 65 euros. Isn't inflation just wonderful? Down there, it says this passport was issued based on a clean criminal record. What a hassle, you have to prove yourself to be innocent just to get a passport. And the passport is only valid for 5 months? Wow, this is crazy. I guess definitely no gap year in the Congo. It's probably due to this short validity. Page 6 to page 13 are all reserved for renewals. I don't think I've ever seen so many renewal pages in any passport. My guess is that it has something to do with the military duty, so that you cannot travel on this passport for too long before you have to go back to Belgium to renew it. That's one way to keep people from running away, I guess. Good to know that the 1971 Belgium was a country of immense freedom. And from page 14 onward, you have places for visas. In this case, we only have one entry stamp, which was issued at the French-Spanish border. That's it. It's either Belgium didn't stamp this passport on the way back, or this person went to France and stayed. Hey, who can blame you, man? You got conscription in Wallonia. Let's talk about the inside page design. You can obviously see watermarks on every page, which display the coat of arms and waving patterns. If you shine the light through the page, any page, you can see different watermarks printing KB and RB, which means Kingdom of Belgium. These pages are made of thin and light paper. Feels like the paper you can find in the dictionary. This explains why even with 46 pages, the passport is still light and thin. And that concludes our journey into the Belgian passport from 1971. I love the build quality and the texture. As a collectible, it has been well kept. It looks clean, simple, and elegant. And to be honest, I find it better looking than the contemporary red Belgian passports. I give it 8 out of 10. If there are more things you'd like to know about this passport, comment below. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and share. If you have a passport that you want me to take a look at, let me know. Until next time.